our community of people who use drugs, why people, including the family, why they always despise us, and why they always treat us like some kind of aliens or some kind of criminals. I always had an argument with my family also. Even my mom used to tell me, when are you going to stop using drugs? Are you going to use drugs throughout all your life? When will you be able to stop it? I said, Mom, that's not the issue. The issue is, it's an issue about attitude. Because I have done nothing wrong. I haven't committed any crime. It's all about a crime, a victimless crime. I've committed a crime without any victim. I've committed a victimless crime. And it's all about the attitudes. And why do they have to look down upon us? It's a kind of discriminations. Having said about discrimination from within the family, but still then, it's my loving mother who stand up for me when all the chips are down, when everybody were against me, when everyone, including my relatives, my families, they were leveling false charges, allegations against me, when something was, when some stuff or something was missing from the house itself, then they used to have a great suspicious over me, because I would be the culprit. I was the culprit without any evidence. And it was at that point of time that my mom used to stand up for me, because as a loving mother, she used to defend me that without any concrete evidence, you just can't point a finger towards my son. I mean, that really takes a great guts on my mom's part. And this is a global issue. I mean, not particularly an isolated issue about me. This is about discriminations, harassment, and stigmatizations. If we have to address the global issue, then we have to address into the context of the country issue. And if we have to address the country issue, then we have to look into the context of the state issue. Then after that, if we further need to address the state issue, then we need to look into the issue of say local issue, and see what can be dealt with, how it can be dealt with, what can be done with to minimize the problems. And if it is a local issue, then we need to look ourselves and see what can be done within our family, within our respective homes. And then it's my opinion that all these discriminations, stigmatization, harassment, rights violations, I mean, this all have to, the homework, this all have to start it from the home itself. If my own family violate my rights, then obviously how can we deal with the larger global human rights problems? It obviously has to start from the home itself. And stigma and discriminations, we cannot stop it outrightly, and we cannot deal with it overnight. There is no overnight solution, and there is no solution at side that can be dealt with. I mean, it has to be. It has to be done. It has to be with a pragmatic approach. I mean, not by any utopian thinking or principles or any ideological belief or from a moralistic point of view. I had a very interesting experience when I had an accident with my body being burnt by fire out of accident, and the injury was so severe that I had a more than 30% burnt injury. The caregivers at the hospital and even at the clinic also, they were not willing to give me a proper dressing because they had a fear that since I was a drug user, that they had no adequate protections. What is this? This is really bullshit. Because they are bounded by universal precautions to have their own precautions, and at that point of time, it was my mom who persuaded my younger sisters to give me to provide me the wound dressing every alternate days, and unfortunately my sister-in-law is also a nurse, but she was not willing to cooperate because she had a unfounded fear about HIV, about hepatitis C, even though they had no clue about my status. I did not reveal to them about my status, but they already had a conclusive assumption that if they do the dressing to me, then they would be at risk. So this is really a kind of rubbish job. Six ni. Ido 6. Ay pan kan imarup single ay. Chate. Adum lady, adum health su adum kaji thodi ko problem lady. Ay bu hojikan kara constipation leba ko. Aduga piles leba ni na ko. Adagi kara tumba ya da insomnia. Adudi adum kara toina di adum lay.
Tumbi goli udi chari ko na.
Chai adu doctor na budi adum prescribe to leba ko. Adu prescribe to bodo guli chadra ga di amuk pikta amuk haurak pa.
Adu chari ni ba.
Chari ba. Adu chara ga di adum
Teri goli do.
guli do traffic sa ba tumbi gi di. Aduga MG du kya no di ka ho ya aduga ngasai constipation gi do. Adu di akoi dulcolex to. Guli wena cha ba di effective oi do ba. Aduna akoi kano to ba kre tare anima gi kano to.
Anima do.
Adu wena to. Adu effective am oi.
Do ising yam tha over do ga fruit kum chao do ga ne. Vegetable do. Do yam cha silo dum.
Hoi.
Constipation do yam pham ni bi.
Fiber chu pai hai.
Fiber si yam pham ni fiber content ta kum khai se.
Ada ising sidi ko na kharang di thang ge dana na tra. Ising budi am tho hai ba liter mari manga. Ada hoi kharang di thang ge.
Tadi kai su problem itu yang phadi pagale ko andi di.
Hane gi phagat to man bra.
Yang madle ba yang bharane andi di.
Thank you.
Pagale bucu su pagale. Dressing guje yang nana.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. चलो बा तेरे तुम देंगे बस वो आसो कौन बेवा मुनी ओके ओके ओए ओए अदर फोनर से कुछ ना होगी अभी तक नहीं ना होगा ओए ओए
大概还有这个这的流什么地方感觉啊，好像这流有什么的多。
Hi.
Nang sai ngai đây ba.
Cây lấy kia cây pro.
Ví dụ như là nó cốt bom bọc hai gì thế rồi nắm phẳng đâu
When I had become a full-blown drug user, I guess it was a point of no turning back. I mean, it's a kind of one-way street. Like I was using only for the sake of my health, to make the system work, to make myself normalize, to to make me a human being, to enable me to do things like any ordinary people did do. So it is a kind of no returning back, and the atrocities and the brutalities that I received from the law enforcers. I don't know how I've lost count of that. I mean, I've lost count of the trashing that I received from the armed police. I've lost count of the fact that I was extorted whenever I go to the using site a number of times, and I had to, and if I had to go for using, I had to have some extra money to pay to bribe them so that I may be able to use it in peace. Because because it's all part of the system, and if I don't follow the system, then I have to pass the night in hell without drugs. I have to bear the agony. They have slapped my face a number of times. They have kicked my ass a number of times, and I had no one to turn to. And they have arrested me a number of times, although they have released me after threatening me on the way. Well, Manipur is really, I mean, very typical situations. I mean, we cannot compare Manipur with other states, other countries, because it is a conflict area zone where there is no law, and there is a very harsh act called Armed Force Special Power Act, where the armed people, where the lawmakers can shoot or kill people without any justifications, and that's a big problem. When ordinary citizens are being ruthlessly murdered, then who in this world will care for the marginalized group of people who use drugs? And there are two types of government in our states. One is the elected government, the another is the underground elements who are fighting for sovereignty. And in order to attract the people's sympathy or garner their support, what these underground elements do is that they are on a social reformation drive, like shooting people who use drugs at their legs and awarding capital punishment to drug dealers, drug sellers, and small-time PD dealers. Whereas these small-time PD dealers are more or less, I mean, drug users. I mean, they are selling PD amount, you know, just to sustain their habit. I mean, not to garner big amounts of money, not to become rich. And what they did is, in the name of social justice, they would shoot people, those community peoples without any trial. And then when they launch the drive against our community, they would catch hold of our community and make the community clarify in the local paper by putting up their names with a statement that they would never use drugs again in their life, and it sort of infringes upon the privacy of the community. There is no privacy at all, and it also has sort of given our community a license to use against, because earlier we were using discreetly, silently, but now they has brought us out into the open, and that now we don't need to do discreetly anymore, because they have brought us out into the open by putting our names in the paper, and then some are being shot at the legs, and these are all done in the names of social reformation drive, and some of the anti-drug organizations that sprang up. They are also vying for each other to garner support from the common people. Like they would launch frequent drive raids at the homes of people who use drugs, and then they had their own kangaroo type of trials at the spot, awarded punishment, then flash the names in the papers along with their photos. And what kind of human rights is this? And this would only aggravate the situation, because the victim would no longer think about quitting drugs. Instead, he would harbor some grudge. So to hell with prohibition. We don't want prohibition anymore, because it is harming our lives, and we want legalizations. We want legalizations to improve the lives of our own community. We want legalizations to prevent from unwanted infections. We want legalizations in a very pragmatic manner, and we want legalizations to live a dignified life in a more respectable manner.